This is the Picasso Witchy Woman, and we looked at some Picasso portraits of women like this one that had some profiles, and we talked about Cubism, and here is Pablo Picasso himself here, and I have this really cool poster of Picasso that I show my students as well, where it's half of his face abstracted and half is realistic. There he is right there, Pablo Picasso himself. And this is a, oh, I'm spilling my water. This is a self-portrait that Picasso did of himself. And of course you can see how he abstracted it, made it simplified. So this is what we're thinking about when we make these witchy women on the lesson. So it's called Witchy Women. And you can also turn it into any type of a woman. It doesn't necessarily have to be a witch. It could be, like one of my students today made a cowboy, which was really cool too. So that's up to you how you want to design it, but we're going to just abstract it down the middle. So I'm going to start off, we start off with one large 9x11 sheet of paper like this, and then I divide the paper, a 9x11, in half, and then I show the students step by step how to cut out the shape. And first we start off by cutting in the very middle, or right above the middle line. Here's our middle line right here. So I go halfway above the middle and I cut off a rectangle, just like that. And then what we do next is we find the center of what's left. This we'll save for the neck later. And from the center, on this flat line here, the longest side, I make two diagonal cuts in the very middle. So I'm taking, if I were to do it perpendicular, it would be straight up, but I'm going diagonal. So I turn my scissors diagonal and I make a slice, and then I go in diagonal on this side, and we just go ahead and cut a piece out, and that's going to form the nose of the abstracted woman here, her profile view. And so this cubist picture is going to be both in front view and profile at the same time, like Picasso did in many of his faces. Now I'm going to curve this here because I want to round this to my face. So I just simply take my edges of the long line that has not been cut, and I go ahead and just slice it off, and then I round these corners. Do the same for this side, just basically rounding the corner. So it kind of looks like almost like a rainbow arch it forms. From there, we're going to go ahead and just put a little bit of glue and glue it down to our paper right there in the middle. And I have the students just place glue, just very little bit. You can barely see the glue. Place it down in your middle. Then we go ahead and we take and we cut a half sheet again. So here's my brown paper. I cut it in half. And then we go ahead and take the half sheet of brown paper, and we're going to cut from the one corner all the way to the top center. So we kind of just angle our scissors to the very center of the top and just go ahead and cut. Flip it over, do the same thing. So we have a pointy hat right there. I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece from this for the hat brim right here. And so I take the longest line, chop, and chop about as thick as a finger for the hat brim. So I have two hat brims. I'm going to go ahead and place glue down here, just a light line, placing the hat on. And then I'm going to go ahead and place glue on my brim. And I'm going to tuck this underneath here and curve it. I'm going to curve it down a little bit so it's slightly curved. And do the same on this one. Lift it up. going to put a little bit more glue on here. There. And you can put it straight. Actually, it's kind of cute, a little crooked. I'm going to put this one crooked and that one. I kind of like it crooked. All right, now we're going to go ahead and we paint in the details of the face right here. And you can paint them in any way you want to. For this one, I did trace the edges of the nose. And then I had kind of a grumpier mouth here. And I start with the mouth first because this is the lighter value color. And then I'll show you on this one here. I just kind of did a straight line here with a little dip, curve around, and we did the mouth. And then I did some really cool textures for the hair. And I'll just quickly show you how to do that really fast. And you don't have to get perfect. This was with 2nd grade. So to do the mouth, straight across. If you want to have it a smile, on the edge, curve it up, and a U underneath. This will be a happier witch. Curve those lines up. And then I go ahead and get some black. And we're just using tempera paint here. And you can do the eyes any way you want to. I'm going to make this kind of friendlier. These eyes I made kind of like normal curved human eyes. This I made crazy like zombie eyes, almost circular oval. This one I'm going to make kind of friendly. One curve, 2 curves, kind of like you have it closed. And then I'm going to go up. This will be a friendly witch. And up. And then I'm going to add the eye area in the middle. Now, like I said, you can outline the nose if you want to. I think I might for this. It just brings out more emphasis. And then I do a backwards letter C on this side if it's facing this way. And this nose is facing the other side, see this direction? So it's the front facing C. Or here it has nothing. I did not paint it, so it's up to you. That's kind of cute. Now get some hair and have some fun designing your hair of your witch. And I'm just using some nice curving lines right here, nice curvy. And that is our cubist Picasso witch. And she doesn't look that witchy to me. She looks pretty cute. Now, of course, you can add whatever you want to the hats. And this hat, I put some spiders. Use your imagination. This one, she's kind of grumpy and mean, so I put some eyebrows, and then I put a little bat here. And of course, a witch isn't a witch without a wart on her nose. I even added some fun warts on her neck here. This last piece, if you want to add right here to the neck, you can. Just glue it on down there. That's up to you. On this one, you can see how I just painted in the neck. Right there. I'm just going to paint in the neck for this one. And then I'm going to do kind of like a crescent-shaped moon here. And you can even do some stars, simple stars. I like doing the stars like this, an X and then a T. Small letter T and an X in the middle. That's kind of cute. And to finish it off, you want to put on some, if you have these, I love these things. I get them from the art catalogs like Blick or NASCO. There you go. And even a little glitter's fun to do too around the crescent moon. And there is your witchy woman. Hope you have fun. Now stick around and you'll see some kids examples that I have at the end of the video. This is our 2nd grade witchy woman. And we made these today in 30 minutes. And look how adorable they came out. And this is a 2nd grade class. Now I'm going to show you step by step how to make this witchy woman. And here is the examples of what I did. And then what I showed the kids step by step is how to cut it. And then I put these displays on the board here so that they could remember the steps. So we cut basically the top rectangle off of a half a sheet of green paper. And then we did our curves, and I'm going to show you a demonstration video on how we actually made these, but I wanted to show you how I set up my classroom so the kids could then follow the directions on their own. And that is our second grade Witchy woman, and their examples came out adorable.